When we last left you, Bill had pulled the old Dart out of the barn and pressure washed the body and engine. We went back over to his shop a week or so later to check on progress. I was really curious to see if there was a build sheet in the springs in the underside of the back seat, which he had already pulled out. Bill had stripped the interior to look at the floors. So he had the 71 Dart Swinger parked in the stall in his shop where he'd already replaced the old drum brakes. Bill oiled the engine to see if it would turn over, which it did crank. Didn't seem to be any problems with the 318. Of course, Bill's main interest is old Harleys, so we got to see more of that 31. And this time Bill started it up, which was quite a process, and it sounded really cool. Then something very unexpected. Bill showed us what is probably the most unusual barn find I've ever run across, parked under a tarp in his garage, right underneath his old 38 Packard Woody station wagon. You won't believe what this was, so stick around.
Well, we brought the car in and cleaned it out a little bit more and looked it over to see what it needed. This is after we took the seal plate off. Look at the original paint on the seal plate. Back here, I mean, we're kind of cleaning it up. There's the factory scribbling, whatever that scribbling is. You know, they always mark the yellow markers. Mm-hmm. The car had this quarter section put on here, not by me, by somebody else, so we're starting over where they left off. And it's a really nice quarter section. They did a pretty good job putting it on. There's no rust at all in this new piece, which I was looking at that, because since the rest of the car has absolutely no rust that we can find anywhere, I was kind of concerned that the part that they got from wherever this part came from might not be as good as the rest of the car, but it looks like it's just as good. It's interesting right here where it was welded in. We started sanding the original orange paint down, and it was interesting to me that the factory used this cream colored yellow primer under it. This is where the vinyl top's been pulled back to the guys that did this car first started repair work, pulled that back, revealing that orange paint. And you can see there's no rust in here at all. Usually where there's rust around the windows, especially in a vinyl top car. Let's look right here and see if this, I was curious if this yellow primer went throughout the whole car. I'm gonna look underneath the vinyl top here. I've been meaning to do this. I've got a razor blade here. I'm gonna try to cut back some of this roof where I can get to it. And see if I can. I want to cut back underneath here and see if we can see if there's that yellow primer is consistent throughout the whole car. There's that padding. Up there, it's showing through already. There's that yellow primer. Same primer that's down there is underneath the roof skin, underneath the roof where this is virgin area here. So, there's that yellow primer right there. You can see it. See that yellow primer? So that's kind of interesting. You can see it underneath the glue there, the yellow. So that yellow primer is consistent here, so that tells you that I guess they primed the whole car in yellow before they painted it orange.
Show us the underside of that trunk deck lid.
Oh yeah, we were looking at the original paint underneath here. You can see the original factory tag, and you can see where they factory punched this inner structure before they put that spoiler on. They punched that before they put the top skin on. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
let me get close to that. Point that out again.
Well, you can see where they punched the inner structure here before the top skin was put on, the inner structure, reinforcement structure. They punched it out where the holes are going to be. Then looks like they might have drilled those before they put this factory spoiler on it. We were wondering if that was factory or not when we first saw the car. Then after looking around, you can kind of see that it's pretty obvious that it was, because you can't cut those holes out with that skin on there. Nobody would have done that in the aftermarket. They would have just drilled through both of them.
What about the floor here?
I guess that white is just a factory speckle coating like they used to use back in the old school stuff. You can see it back underneath this quarter over here. Get that hat. I don't know where the hat came from. You can see it underneath there. It's all up underneath here too. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how stuff was done back. I guess every car manufacturer had their own methods and their own way of doing things. But
So have you found any rust at all on the car?
No, we hadn't seen any. Zero. I mean, people say zero rust cars, but I haven't. You can look up underneath the door, the door hinges and stuff. That's, you can see the original arm paint way up in there. See?
Yeah.
This is original thing. There's that cream colored primer again. I'm not a crosser expert by any means, so I'm learning here as I play with this thing. Got the carburetor going out, get rebuilt. Engine's free, turned it over 4 or 5 times, put oil in, pulled the spark plug wires and put oil in the cylinders and cranked it over by hand. It spins right over, so that's good news.
So what are you going to do to it, Bill? What do you think?
No, I'm just going to finish that quarter panel, do the painting that needs to be done. You know, it needs this fender extension needs to be painted. The fender's not hurt, and I don't know why I guess they got a nick in that. Somebody did that.
Was that fender extension you pulled off out of the back of that seat?
No, it's the one for the other side.
Okay. Now,
it's off too.
Did somebody saying the build sheet, was the build sheet in the bottom of that and the springs of that rear seat, or did you look?
I didn't look.
Is it sitting here? We can look?
You can go look. That's the trunk liner. Good shape though. It's dirty, Zach.
Might clean up, huh?
Oh, it'll pressure wash, I think. It's just dirt. We're gonna put it back in there after we get the thing. Because it's pretty rare to find a trunk mat in that good condition. It's, 60 years old.
Right.
55, 58. There's the seats that came out of it. Hey, you said you was looking for something underneath the seat?
The build sheet in the back, the springs of the back seat.
There it is.
Oh, did you see it?
Well, I guess that's it. It's not in very good shape.
Wow, there's the build sheet. Gee. You need to get that out of there and protect that.
It looks like it should have been protected a long time ago.
Wow.
You have to have forensics. You'd have to have a forensic expert to be able to read that.
Well, how do you know? Do you get it? I mean, will it come out or what run it?
Well, it'll just fall in a million pieces. It's brittle as it can be. No, it's brittle.
You don't want to take it out? It's pretty brittle, huh?
No, yeah, you can see it's been sitting in that barn. The seats are in good shape, but that build sheet is just from pure age. It's just paper. It's just falling apart. Seats are nice condition. You can see that's original upholstery.
Yeah, we'll have to check and see how people get those build sheets out when they're that fragile. You just don't want to mess. You don't want to.
I'm just get somebody who knows how to get them out. Maybe you slide a reinforcement underneath it and try to sandwich it or something. I'm just want to start tearing into it without I don't know how to get it out.
Okay.
It's looks like it's more like the Dead Sea Scroll quality. Need to get a forensic expert over here to read that.
So what else? Have we missed anything that you did to it?
I haven't done anything else except this right here. Just what I showed you. Just cleaning up. Just get this quarter panel ready to. Well, obviously gonna have to. I don't know why they did that to the. I don't know what's underneath that. Why they did that. What's all those spots? If there's a reason why those spots are painted out like that, I have no idea.
That vinyl roof doesn't even look vinyl. It looks metal from here. I mean, it's just so dark. I didn't know that was vinyl at first.
Yeah.
So you can take the whole vinyl roof off and.
Well, I was contemplating. It's not too much work. Just pulling the whole top off and painting the whole car, painting the top orange. The top's got to come off anyway. I don't think they can seam it right here, make it look right. But there again, I'm not an upholstery guy, so I was gonna try to see what's underneath those. Why they put all those black spots on there? Excuse my bench. My paint station has turned into a place to fix the brakes. I didn't have a place for this car when I moved it over here. I usually don't have anything over here except what I'm painting on. But since it's so I put all these brake parts up on my paint table. I was curious. I just wonder why they put that. What is underneath there that they possess and put all that. Looks like they. I guess they sanded the paint off. There's that yellow primer again coming through. And I don't know why they got all those spots on there. Don't feel any dents. Doesn't feel like any kind of dents there. So I don't know, maybe they're scratches or something. They just took a spray can, somebody didn't have anything to do, and put spots all over it. A lot of times people don't know what they're doing, especially on these old motorcycles and stuff. They'll go in there and they'll destroy originality, thinking they're helping it out, and all they do is hurt the value of the piece that they're messing with. If they're not, not knowing what they're doing. I've seen people go have an original paint motorcycle, original paint gas tank that had 90% or 80% of the original paint with a few scratches, and go in and sand it all off, put a brand new paint job on it, and you can't get that back. Once that original paint's gone, it's not, you can't replace it. So like they say, it's only original once. You can paint it 100 times, but I don't know what they did there. We probably never know. But just like they had somebody nothing to do and started putting paint on the car.
What about these scoops? Are they original paint or anything, or would you want
They look like it. They're all like original scoops to me. It's got a crazy good. Of course, I didn't want to pull down this original. This is all original insulation, so I don't want to look underneath it to see how they're attached. But I'm sure they're punched similar to that deal in the back. You can see the bolt studs right here where they go through. So I'm imagining it's done similar to that spoiler. But I don't want to pull the original hood padding down to find out. I'm not that curious. I'm not going to mess with it, so I'll leave it alone.
So, what do you have to do to start it, Bill?
Oh, well, it's kind of a ritual you go through on one of these old Harleys to start it. You choke it, start the spark, and you pull the choke up. And it also, that when you pull that up, it also, if you notice right there, it's just a really neat carburetor. When you do that, it pulls the needle out, so it richens the mixture on the And the clutch has to be down. It richens the mixture. So it lets gas, so let's prime the engine a couple times. Get it primed. Then you take it off. So that primes the engine. Turn it on, give it just a little bit of gas. I shouldn't have primed, I've already had it running. So now it's going to be flooded. And you advance the timing, advance the spark. Just moves it out a little bit. Got the dash light right here. Dash light. Parking light, and headlight. I said sometime I need to show you my Yugo Convertibles. I got the last one that they brought into the country.
Is it here?
Yes, it's at the airport where my airplane is.
Okay.
Well, I got one of them here, but the one at the airport is the last one they brought in imported.
What's the one here?
It's an older one. They only imported 76 of them total.
Okay, it's underneath this.
It's underneath that deal right
stuff here.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción, yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente. Con una pasión tan fuerte. Ay, 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 ay. Ahora sigo cantando y sigo gozando. Yo sigo cantando y sigo gozando.
Yeah. Where'd they make these?
Huh?
Where'd they make these things?
Communist Yugoslavia.
Oh.
That's a Yugo. You know how you tell the value of a Yugo, don't you? By the fuel gauge. There's all kinds of Yugo jokes. Why'd they put defrost their window in the rear window? So you can keep your hands warm while you're pushing it. There's all kinds of Yugo jokes.